Okay.
Alright, what have you found?
I found something. These tracks being sold by a farmer, and they're about the right length. They're about 3 meters long is what the wheelbase will achieve. So they're 500 wide and about 2.8 meters wheelbase. They're about 2 hours away. Oh, and they come with drive sprockets as well. So let's see if they're available. Cool.
Fast Traxx goes where you've never gone before. New 9.6V Turbo Fast Traxx.
Only Tyco Rebound does in-your-face flip and the Sidewinder. Blinding speed, incredible stunts.
Mutator, the ultimate RC mutation. You make radio-controlled Mutator mutate into almost any vehicle.
9.6V Turbo Power. The incredibly hot Scorcher 6x6. Fuel from Tyco. Battery pack required. Sold separately.
Yeah, right.
Alright, I'm going to show you all the things that have been coming in. Alright, so you would have seen these deliveries. Some of you may have opened them because you're eager beavers.
His opening party. Yeah. Oh, I like the red one.
Alright. So, these are all RC cars from the 90s.
Vintage.
Vintage RC cars. And in the 90s, because they were stuck with nickel cadmium batteries and brushed motors, they had no
power,
no performance, right? So they all have little gimmicks, right?
That's the way they got around having no power.
Yeah,
like,
you couldn't
ours
sell.
has a funky shape.
That's it. Yeah,
Spins
that differentiated them, right? In each one, they had the full size and a mini version. So this is or micro, right? So this is the Scorcher Mini. The real Scorcher, which we have over here, was more expensive and bigger.
How good's the box?
Yeah, it's upside down in its box. So it's been out of its box at some point.
Well, yeah.
It's taped up.
Well, I'll get it.
Get a knife.
I got a knife.
Too hard.
Careful now, the box is important.
Oh wait, yeah, that's opened differently.
Are there many online?
Yeah, in the US.
Yeah.
So they're a bit harder to get here. I had this one as a kid.
Vintage.
This was like
that
my
exact size one.
I was going to say this was my first RC car, but it wasn't. It was probably like my third one. I had ones where they had a lead from the remote, and just like this one, you reversed to steer.
No
but this
wireless.
was the first one that I had that was remote, and you could turn in any direction. You didn't have to like do this thing where you went forwards and then turned and then went off in that direction. Did you guys have that, or did you miss that excitement?
No, I had one.
Yeah, look at this one. This one, you go in reverse and it would turn, and then you'd drive off.
I had that.
Oh right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I had.
It was awful.
We had a Christmas in Lismore and they didn't pack batteries, so I had to wait an entire day.
No!
Back
You
in
didn't
those
have
days,
batteries.
you didn't have anything open on Christmas Day.
I learnt from that, and there was this period where I was like the uber prepared kid and would take batteries to Christmas Day in case my grandparents gave me something that required batteries. Yeah.
But this is tank controls.
Yeah, so this thing's like a skid steer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they say 6x6 on it somewhere.
But it's these
Scorcher
clearly aren't
6x6.
touching the ground.
Yeah, and it's actually only, like if you turn them, these ones are driven
locked
together,
together.
and these are driven together, and these ones are just a little bit higher so they don't stop it. So it could spin on the spot.
Oh, I can do the whole
And
spinny
you can
thing,
do just drive one side and it does like a bigger radius turn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fun.
that's pretty cool. And they're super rugged. Like you crush them into everything and they just survive. And they have like cool 80s graphics on them, right? Even though they were made in the 90s.
Yeah.
Tyco Race RC.
They're all Tyco in this
Big fan
collection.
of them. I like the box. I remember when I bought this like vintage Connect 4 thing from the op shop, and the box was like half falling apart, and the lady's just like, she's like, oh, I'll tape it up for you. I was like, no, don't tape it up. And she's like, I'll tape it up. I was like,
Tape
hell.
ruins it.
She covered it in tape.
I have a collection of Matchbox cars, yesteryear series,
Yeah.
and Mum took them all out of the boxes for me to put on display.
Oh,
I'm like, thanks. They're
very
unopened. And now they are opened. Yeah, she did keep the boxes though, which is nice.
That's good.
Okay, so that's the Scorcher. Let's have a look at another one. This guy does something cool. So this one is.
No, it just looks like that.
So this is the same skid steer thing where these wheels are driven together and these are driven together. So same sort of handling as this one, right? But this one, its funky little feature is there's a release lever here. This one on the remote, you can jack it up high. So it's on portal axles, like drop axles, and it can drive
I
up.
can raise the
Yeah.
ladder.
And then you can, later we'll get the batteries and all these.
Does a Tesla do that?
Oh, I
And
can
then
go
it
like
can-
speed mode.
Yeah, so it goes like sports mode sort of thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a cool little truck, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so they have a full size one of this. This is the mini rebound. They also, this is the earliest mini rebound. They have another one with big fat mud wheels on it, which was more popular. And then they have one that's this size, but I haven't found one of those. This one's cool little, this is the same thing, skid steer. Its cool little trick is that when you crash it into a wall and it flips around, it changes into another vehicle, right?
That's cool. Mutator.
Mutator.
Yeah, you can drive this into a
Does the
wall and it can
Mutator-
go upside down as well, but it's not as cool.
Okay. Does the Mutator have a mini version as well?
Probably. Pretty much all of them did, I think.
So what's the point of that big front guard? Is it just so it can like
Hit
skip
stuff.
over stuff?
Yeah, because they weren't very fast, so the most fun you could have is just put a better block in front of them and just ram into it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. This thing's pretty cool.
Oh, that's
Tracked
cool.
The
one.
tracks, yeah. So you get like this sporty hybrid, Formula One winged beast thing happening,
Yeah.
and then you put some tracks on it. The tracks haven't, aged gracefully. They're a bit loose.
Yeah.
Bit funny because the tracks don't have any support in the midspan, so it has no greater traction or.
No traction here.
Yeah, like
it's
you can take
just-
them off and it's just as good. But it's for looks. It's for looks. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, no, if you press something,
Yeah, I
it
guess
would
if
still.
it's
Well, then it puts so much tension on that belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it works. It works. It works
gotta
for
get
it works
some
for an
blocks,
RC, like for a toy car,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's pretty cool.
The long aerial is very nostalgic.
Yeah. These are all like
around.
analog remotes. Yeah.
See, I had one I remember from when I was like 12 was this shape.
Yeah.
And it had the spinning front on it. So it would you would race it around a corner,
Oh,
flip
yeah.
over, and then you spin
The
the,
wheels
front, and the whole
spin.
thing could flip back on its right side. But also you could just keep the front spinning, and it would
Yeah.
just do this crazy
go
somersault
mental.
there
Yeah.
forever.
Mental mode. Yeah.
And you could run it upside down.
Yeah. There's a later version of the Rebound, which is it's probably called the Rebound Turbo or something. It had one side that had a motor driving it. So instead of just driving around and crashing into things and flipping over, you could just press a button and this side would go, and it would
so
just like
instead
go,
of the front-
and then you wouldn't know which way
two-
it was going to end up.
So instead of
Roll
the
it
front
off.
two wheels flipping,
Yeah. So the one
the front
Ben's
and-
talking about, I think this is a Typhoon. Maybe?
Yeah, that might have been it.
Yeah, twists like
front
that.
two flip.
This one flips this way. Yeah.
sideways. Okay.
Alrighty. And then, after looking at the one where they don't have any
Oh,
wheels,
so this is the bigger one.
you've got this big thing called the
Oh.
Zigzag, and it has extra wheels.
Yeah.
Right? So a little bit better. It would be good if it had lots of wheels, but it's getting better. But when you flip this one over, it's got something funky happening.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Oh.
This thing could do all the skid steer, but also
Drive laterally.
and just drive sideways, strafe.
What?
But
yeah.
does it have to actuate the wheels down?
Yeah.
What is?
Yeah.
So it has a mechanism that pushes the wheels down.
And does this
Yeah.
have flaps that drive up or something?
The doors.
It's missing one door.
Yeah, it's lost
here.
the door. Should get my
Okay.
money back.
But are
This
they?
one's-
They
No,
look,
no, but
they look
they're
driven.
joined or something.
Yeah, maybe when you're strafing, you need to do side vision. Like, it's like a Lamborghini Countach. You got to open the doors to be able to actually see where you're going. Yeah,
Maximum heat.
yeah. They've got nice saying. Like, I love the sticker on this one. Like it says, caution intake area. Like watch out.
Yeah.
What's this one? Danger. What was it? Danger, high rotational
Initial
speed.
speed. It did actually spin pretty fast.
Okay.
Well, I love how here it says the
And then
scale
drove off
speed
slow.
is 180 miles an hour. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, what's going so fast to scale?
To scale. Yeah.
So
The other thing is all these things just used.
This is great.
There's only 2 options of what frequency the remotes were. Right, so you and your mate would have to purposely go out
27
and buy
megahertz.
the alternate
different, yeah.
frequencies, or you could just roam the neighbourhood with the remotes and take
Just
over other
pinch
people's.
people's buttons.
Yeah.
Some poor kid
Yeah.
just steal their remote control.
The next thing, the reason why I bought all these,
oh, you're not just collecting?
not just collecting them, no, is I think it would be fun to make them full size. Right, like get inside one of these.
Yeah.
Right, so we can
drive one.
and go the full hog. Like it needs to have freaking a purple body and
Yeah. I'm mostly drawn
And
to the
tracks.
purple one, honestly. I think the purple one's
Yeah.
sick. The shape of the body's fun. But this is probably maybe the go if it's the most nostalgic.
So I think with each one you can identify like what makes it, like what you have to reproduce, right? What's
like
cool about it.
full size. We sit in it.
Yeah, and I don't know the scale. Like I don't.
That's
like
cool.
as long as you can fit in it. It'd be cool if 2 people could fit in it because it's twice as fun with 2.
What, so this thing's spinning and you puke, and the centripetal force pushes it onto your driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know which.
What's the
one.
feasibility of this though? Like some are going to be.
Well,
easier
yeah.
than
Some are
others.
easier. Like see this thing here. This is what I imagine for this one. Flips over.
That'd be
This.
Size.
Yeah. So you scale on something like that's going to be the hardest thing to source, right? This one needs to be able to go upside down.
Yeah,
Right.
of
So
course.
you don't want a 4-stroke engine that has oiling problems when it goes upside down, right?
Yeah.
It's not real
So-
torquey electric motors.
Yeah, so it could be electric or 2-stroke.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
thinking snowmobile. Like 2-stroke snowmobile. Yeah. Yeah, and then
What happens when you're upside down as the driver? But
Well, then you just upside down, facing the other way.
you make sure you strap in properly, right? Yeah, so you so that, well,
That'd
that's
be a hell of a ride, wouldn't
that's the decision. Like, do you just live with it and drive around upside down with your head's going red, and or do we need to make it so that the seat can spin, like you're in a capsule inside it can spin, and which way do you spin? Do you have to, you're in a full fetal position and the whole
you
thing
spin
like
forwards, but then you-
tumbles, or are you lying flat and you spin?
I think you go up this way, so you're facing that way upside down, and then it goes.
Yeah, but if well, I don't
you-
know. Are you going to maintain the
rotate on
fact that
this
when you
axis.
flip this, you're still facing the same way, or would it be cool to have it so that when you flip, you change direction?
Yeah, do you want to hit?
Because if you're going to stick with the same direction, you need to flip this way internally. But if you're going to
Yes.
change direction, you need to flip
Yeah.
in the other.
Yeah, I reckon
axis.
you go this way, and then you're just facing the way you want to go, and you just drive off.
Yeah, so if you
But then
drive,
all
like
the-
it's cool if you drive into something and it flips over and you can drive off.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
not what this does,
No.
right?
Do you wanna
This
stay
does
true to that,
so you can
or-
just keep going. So if we do it this way, then I think you need to be tucked into a little ball and spin forwards. It's
Now,
like a
any of this
tail
that
gun.
you do, you've got to translate the controls and steering to that internal.
But it's
It's got to be fly by wire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely all
It's
wireless.
you just gaff tape.
Remote controls.
True. Imagine that.
Well, that's it. We can start by just making a remote control.
Hold
That
on.
would be-
Yeah, I don't think I want to be inside one of these with somebody else at the controls there.
Well, maybe that's any of them that we do. We make them remote control. That would be fairly straightforward.
Remote
Yeah.
control to start, yeah.
Yeah.
Always
Okay.
good
And
to
with
test it before you
And
put
just
the
yeah,
dummy
with
inside.
just like this.
Okay, so this one here, I really like as well. You know, probably because this is the one I had as a kid.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's fun. I think it's really feasible to
Six-wheel
build
cool.
because the body, we don't have to worry about the intricacies of opening doors, right? It's an RC car. I think we make it,
Just pops open.
Yeah.
pop it up, RC car style. So this is a fiberglass molding. Okay.
Will we source all 3 different tire sizes? Like,
Yeah,
all
we got to
different
decide if that's important.
Yeah.
And it probably is. Like that
It
stagger,
competes for
it
the-
staggers this way as well.
Oh, it does.
But it's often possible because car manufacturers will sell their base model, like with 16-inch, and then their like GL model with 17, and then
True.
the GTI with 18 or something, right? And we can probably do that. Yeah, for this one, I think like we could do it. There's an option that we do them all electrically because electric motors the cheap part, and the expensive part is the battery pack for an electric car,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And if we make it so we can transfer the electric pack between them,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
so
so
we
you
get
want to do more than one? Or
What-
start with one?
Why
Start
should
with
make
one.
it in full 90s style where the battery only lasts like 12 minutes?
that would work. Yeah.
in the first week.
Yeah.
Okay, so there could be electric. The other option
Yeah.
is this could something like if you got a Subaru
Yeah.
symmetrical all-wheel drive and put the flat fork, like if you're trying to get the proportions right, so you got to have the cabin here, you got to have this low front, it's going to be mid-engine,
Okay.
right? You put the boxer engine in here, and what would normally be the front axle line, the boxer in the Subaru, it's out the front here and it drives the front wheels.
Yeah.
You put it here, and it has a tail shaft, but you use a chain or a belt drive or a gear, but like the V box that they call them on a speedboat, but a direction change box.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So the tail shaft that normally runs to the back, you turn around and you run to
Okay.
the front, and then you put what would be the rear differential on
I
the
think I
front
want to
one.
see a diagram of this.
But
Yeah,
why is-
yeah,
why
we
is-
can draw this.
Why is that? For weight distribution or
The
why
reason,
don't we move it?
the reason we want to do it like this is you've got the boxer engine and the bell housing and a gearbox, and they build the diff in.
This is top down.
This is top down, right? In your Subaru, your wheels are there and there, right? And your driver sits here and passengers here, and you've got a tail shaft that goes to a rear diff
Yeah.
and has axles out to your rear wheels, right? That's your
Classic layout.
classic layout, Subaru all-wheel drive, symmetric all-wheel drive, whatever.
Yeah.
If we can't do that in here because maybe we can, maybe we want to get this bonnet line
Right, you
really
wanna
low,
get low,
to get
low.
the screen down. So
Okay.
this is like a mid-engine car, right? That's the cooling here for the engine.
Yeah.
So we put it here and do like Lamborghini Countach, run the drive. They're actually whole thing flipped the other way, but anyway, we run the gearbox like that. We run offset drive, and we run the tail shaft to the front, and put a diff there.
So that gets
Covered over. That's our front wheels now, right? And we put our passengers in here, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Plural.
Yep, 2 people. 'Cause
this-
you
this
share the
cover
vomit, yeah.
that stuff.
Right? That gets covered. That's the new layout. But we need it to be 6-wheel drive, right?
Yeah.
So, do we put the extra wheels here? And we have 2 options. One is we run chain drive to those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lift
Right.
them up.
And if we have no suspension, that's really easy.
Yeah.
If we have suspension, there's still a few ways you could do it. You could do it with like a DD-on axle setup where this is like a rigid member that holds the wheels.
Okay.
And
Oh,
there's
yeah.
springs here, so this holds them all in alignment, and they can flex and have suspension.
Yeah.
And then you still use these drive shafts, the CV joints, to get the drive out to there, and then you run a chain to the front, but you still have the suspension movement. So you can mechanically do this pretty easily.
Okay.
Right? The other option, but what we don't, and then just because it's skid steer, right?
Yeah.
We now got drive to all the wheels, and we have differentials, so we can steer by just applying the brakes on one side or the other,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Which is how a lot of tanks steer,
Yeah.
and how like over snow transport steers, right?
Yeah. They just have continuous drive and they brake the side. They
Yeah, your diffs work pretty hard, but yeah, it doesn't have to do 100,000 kilometers, right?
Yeah.
But what you can't do is spin perfectly on the spot.
Yeah.
So you can brake this side, and you have this turning circle around that brake side,
Yeah.
but you can't turn about this point here.
Yeah.
If we want to be able to spin on the spot, maybe an idea is just to have these wheels electric motor.
Yeah.
Right? And that's so it is still 6-wheel drive, like all driving.
Yeah.
But we get the sustained power from this petrol motor here.
Yeah.
But we don't need a big battery pack. The battery pack is regenerating while it's driving around.
Yeah.
But when we want to spin on the spot, we can just dump it into these motors.
But would have to actuate the top wheels or lift them, or because they would just
Or
skid.
put them
Well,
in
it's a
neutral.
skid steer. They just skid.
No, but I mean these front wheels.
Well,
If you're
put your-
spinning
put
with these two, these are going to just like
Put your
skid,
gearbox
drag
into
across.
neutral.
You just drag. Like we'll probably have to do it on.
You'll ruin the tires
Oh,
very quickly.
yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah, but that's how like a bulldozer steers. And when you see them turning on the spot, yeah, everything's scrubbing and working really hard.
Yeah.
It works a lot
Rips
better
up
on
the ground, and
yeah.
Yeah.
if it's on concrete, you get a nice
skid
rubber muck.
Sure.
Why don't we could use the Tesla transmission? Was that's a motor or transmission you have over there?
It's both.
It's both.
Yeah. So we have a Tesla transaxle.
Yeah.
Yep.
They'll get some clicks. Tesla RC Tyco.
Yeah. But the Tesla one is just like this, where it's differential drive. Like it's one motor driving a differential. And I think if we want to go electric, we go to the option of driving each wheel individually. So each side individually at
so
least.
you can have one going forward, one going back.
If you
so
drive
you get that spinning feature.
If you drive them each individually, then I think putting suspension on each wheel might be a bit easier as well. Maybe. What do you reckon? Because I feel like you need some compliance. Like if you're spinning and like the ground's uneven, you're gonna like you're sitting off the ground 5 mil and then nothing happens, you know?
Yeah.
Or it's rocking strange.
Yeah, we just got to do.
Because these the way they get away with it here is like all the wheels that are super squishy, and do we just do that?
That is a way of compliance. Like that's a method of suspension that works at low speed.
Yeah.
So there's those.
Which, to be honest,
Yetis? What are they called?
Yeah,
the
Russian swamp buggies.
What
are they called?
Tibetan pack carriers are called
Sherpas.
Sherpas. Yeah, Sherpas like the original brand. Now there's a few of them, but
massive
Sherpa.
Wheels, they inflate from the exhaust.
Yeah, they're low pressure. They're only like 5 psi maybe, but because they're so big and the vehicle's so light, that's all you need. But when they hit like a log or something, they just deflect and deform over it.
They had them as Arctic vehicles at some stage.
Yeah, they're good, and they float. So
but the wheels are inflated from the exhaust. Like they've got active.
They're like
inflation.
a jumping castle where they're not like like a jumping castle.
Yeah,
you don't blow them up
and
then seal it. You're blowing air in, and that way if somebody jumps, you can stall that fan and blow back through it.
Yeah, and I think even
and that's what they do. They hit a log.
The fuel tanks are inside the hub.
Yeah, just because
it's that extra storage.
It's extra storage because they've got this big hollow cavity here. They make caps that go over, and they can put gear in there or fuel or something.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Because on a normal car, your wheel is unsprung mass, right?
Yeah.
Because your suspension is post that point. But because their suspension is the tyre, their wheel is actually part of the suspended vehicle.
Okay.
Right? So they can use it as storage, and it's suspended by that soft compliant tyre. Yeah. So that's an option. So
maybe that's probably the easiest option, running big, flat tyres.
Yeah, except sourcing them is a challenge.
Yeah.
And aesthetically, this one has to look like a bit low profile performance tyre, right? Like this is a sports car.
They can't be like
whereas this thing
tires.
is very much tractor tyres.
Yeah.
So that one is conceivable with buying some tractor tyres. Yeah.
What do we do?
These two are actually low hanging fruit, right? This one here could be, except for you losing the ability to spin on the spot, you could do this one with a Subaru motor and you don't need the drive axle to the front, right? Because the track does that. You only have to drive the rear wheels because they pull the track on the underside, right? Yeah. So you just drive the rear, you have big oversized brakes on it, and you apply the brake to stop this side and pivot around it, right? That one's really easy to do. Sourcing the tracks isn't that hard because you can just buy
old Caterpillar
old skid steer, dingo digger or something, depending on the scale, tracks, right? And then scale it up to suit the tracks that we can buy. And we can buy ones that are too worn out for driving through mud and sand, because now they're sports tracks, right? Slicks. So that one is doable very easily.
It's being less interesting. Like
it's got wings. Look at the
it's got wings. But I mean, like practically, you're just going to drive around and be like.
I know.
Yeah, you're all about the end experience, which I like.
Yeah.
The build is part of it, and then we take it down to Kosciuszko and rip up a mountain. This one here could be really simple, because this could be we go on Gumtree and we buy a $3,000 knackered snowmobile.
Yeah.
The snowmobile's awesome because they have the super low speed grunty. They have the transmission that we need.
Yeah.
The motors, if you get a 2-stroke one, they can run upside down, right? And then the wheels, we just scale the whole thing to find what wheels. These could be 4-wheel drive, 37-inch mud wheels, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You buy them when the $600 for a complete set because the tread's too low to drive through mud anymore, right?
Okay.
But so the snowmobile has, how are we going to do this? It has a two-stroke, like two-cylinder, two-stroke motor, right? 600cc, 700cc's, and then instead of having your traditional 5 or 6 speed motorbike gearbox, they have a constantly variable drive.
Yeah, the
right?
2 cones, right?
Yeah, so they've got this like belt system where they drive a belt onto these cones, and they can push the cones closer together, and it changes where the belt makes contact. It runs up between the two as they come to, like that, right? It changes the diameter.
Yeah.
And so they get this constantly variable, so they can hold the motor in its peak torque RPM.
Change the gear ratio.
Yeah, changes the gear ratio. So, and then they just have a chain drive, like, tradition. Then they probably drive the track.
Yeah, big.
I got to admit, I am not too familiar with snowmobiles because we just don't have much snow in Australia, right? But that's how they work. And there's always like 2 or 3 for sale across all of Australia at any one time, right? So we should be able to get one. So we get that, and we're just going to fit. Where do we fit it into this so that a person still fits inside?
Yeah.
Right. But because it's chain drive to our, I think we just sit it right at the back. And even if we have to have an axle across here that then drives back forwards to our rear wheel, right?
Yeah,
It drives forwards, and then we have another chain that drives even to the next set, right?
And to be able to
something like
flip it easily, you want your weight over your back, your rear axle anyway, right? So it flips
You
easier.
don't need that. Yeah, so we put the motor right at the back. That puts all the stinky and hot stuff behind the driver.
Yep.
They're fan cooled, most of them, to keep them simple. They want to just be reliable in sub-0 degrees. So they're just 2-stroke, big fan, right?
Yeah.
And then we put a seat here. Your feet can come out forwards of here.
But this is where the wall is. Oh, okay, I'm gonna. Like the tires have to be front of the car body, right?
Okay, yeah, that's important. That's a good point. We need to be able to hit a wall and drive up it. So let's put the wheels right at the front. But it's chain drive, so we can just move that.
Yep.
So this one is as simple as buying a snowmobile, making a box section chassis, and but
Be able to flip it.
flipping the driver becomes a challenge because then if you flip over this way, now it's the engine's in front of you.
So you got to have clearance.
You just have clearance where you can still see above it.
You have two drivers.
Once, and they're both always facing the opposite direction and upside down.
One's always going to be upside down.
Yeah.
I want to turn. Flip me over.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
And you'd be like, how do you mingle?
How do they mesh them?
How do you mesh the two features?
Yeah, this thing would be great. And it'd be little and compact, wouldn't it?
So that one I think is the lowest
Hanging fruit. And it'd be really fun. It'd be
This
fun.
would-
super
look,
fun
it's
to
already
drive.
all planned out.
Yeah, definitely. That mess of scribbles. Decipherable.
Okay, so this would also be very easily done with hub motors,
Yes,
right?
electric.
And as you say, if we can get
More
motors
space
that can
then.
put out peak power but only last for like 20 minutes, right?
all we need.
To
That's
remember,
all we
these
need.
tires are going to be huge, so you need to be highly geared and go a little bit slower.
Talking.
You're right. Yeah, so hub motors is probably a challenge because they've got fixed gearing.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not a hub motor, but because with chain drive we can get that gearing
We
so
can do
easily.
a single motor per side.
Yeah, so we have the chain connecting them, and we have a motor in the middle, and we
Yeah.
can have a tiny little sprocket on that motor.
Get the gearing
Massive ones out here, so we get the gearing right,
Yep.
and then it can go upside down easily. We use lithium batteries, flip it upside down. But pulling apart a snowmobile would be fun as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Two-stroke.
over scale of usability. This is probably the hardest one to do because it's got so many mechanisms with those.
Yeah. So,
Wheels going
so the
sideways.
reason I got this one was because I was looking at this one and really liked the aesthetic of this one, but didn't like the
not very
practicality
practical.
of not supporting those tracks. Though I did see something at the snow recently where they run just a bar inside between the wheels. It sits up higher, so it doesn't rub constantly. But if you ever go over something or in something soft where the weight is spread over the whole track, it just gets mushed up until it hits that bar and just
so
rubs
not-
on that bar.
Not a set of other wheels, but
Yeah.
a flat plate.
A flat plate. So it's this really simple thing. Because, realistically, when it's ripping along fast, it's going to be up on the back. Yeah, this is only for when you're parking and, parking maneuvers.
Parking's going to be tricky.
Yeah.
This would be great for parking. Just parallel parking to the side.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
so many
that
cool
was parking
inventions
stuff.
that have tried to do that.
This one, I reckon you'd get a small ute, like a Suzuki Sierra or a Proton Jumbuck or something like the smallest little, like it wasn't Subaru Brumby, get a small ute, but then put the axles out of a large ute, wide wheel base, wide track, and have this aesthetic pretty easily, right?
Yeah.
And then you either just put portals on it so you can do the height adjustment. So portals are the step, like on your four-wheel drive, you've got your diff underneath, right? And your standard setup from the factory will have some disc brakes and you know your wheel out here, right? And the ground's here, and this is your limiting height.
Yeah.
When you go forward driving.
see that, yeah.
So you can aftermarket, you can get these portals, which are just a whole lot of gears, right? That, you know, 3 gears or 2 big gears, drop down to here, and now you mount your wheel on that, right? And it gives you this awesome clearance, right? Doesn't help your handling because all your everything's just moved up. Your roll center's moved up, but for clearance, if off-roading, you know, that outweighs the cons.
And is there a way to rotate this now?
So people,
have that driven.
they don't, you know, that's not a normal design brief, is to have the option to rotate that, but that's what they've done here. So that's the portal axle here, right? It's offset.
Yeah.
And that's what they've got a drive here, and they've got a gear. It is just a portal, but they can also rotate it. So instead of bolting it, normally they bolt it onto what is the brake flange, or the flange there that retains the bearing.
Yeah.
So all the axles have this flange, and they just bolt onto it. We would have to put something intermediate in there that allows us to rotate the portal.
With the kind of strength that's going to hold the weight of the car.
Yeah.
Like a hydraulic motor or something, like to do it.
Yeah, do you have
At
like
will?
Yeah, like a ram or something that turns it, or and you want them to stay in link. So it could be just like a separate axle across with a gear on there that turns them.
Yeah, true. It doesn't have to happen really fast, right? It can happen like slowly.
You have like a cam that has a hydraulic ram that can
The problem is,
pivot about there.
except that I guess you don't have to get a full 180 if you got like 170.
Yes.
You just don't want to go full 180 and then have a zero crossing point on your ram.
Yeah.
But it could go from there to there and still give you a huge amount of height adjustment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's important. Like the other way of doing it would just be have the thing on air shocks and be able to drive it up and down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are already doing that on a Friday night.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's interesting to rotate the portals.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's all of them.
Interesting.
What's your favourite? Like if we were to do one of these purely based off
My
love of your
favorite,
cars.
yeah, my favorite is this one because I like the mesh of the 90s sports car. Right, the mini version here is, you know, Ferrari F40, right?
Yeah.
They have another one. They have a version of this that is more maybe Countach, but this is the one I had as a kid, right?
Yeah.
And it's a little bit later than the aesthetic of those two. I like this one. I like. It's unique. Like, we're not trying to make something that's practical, right? None of these are practical. Never actually going to commute in them or anything like that, right? But for just the blend, this thing sitting parked anywhere is amazing. And then if we can make it spin on the spot, that's the dream right there, right?
Yeah.
But to start small, I reckon I put those two forwards.
Yeah.
This one because it is just sourcing tracks
Yeah.
and either electric or Subaru motor in the back and you're done. Doesn't even have to be a Subaru, any motor.
Yeah.
Any, like a front wheel drive car and transaxle, 2 outputs, done, right? So that one we can just get any wrecked vehicle and get some tracks and we're done.
And it will look very cool though. I think if that was full scale with like it looks like a fighter jet, you know, like that.
Yeah.
That would
Get the pink livery right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this one's got to be built.
Okay.
At some point.
But what's first? Okay.
What's first?
Hey, we got power. There you go.
I
gonna do it floor?
think it's a floor jobby, this one. Yeah, this.
Oh, nice.
Oh. Doesn't quite.
Speed test?
As long as it doesn't. Ready? it's just moving. Oh, it's away from me.